I gotta say, this meta is pretty interesting right now. Now make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So we're going to be looking at the breakdown for the 1923 Championship 3v3. I actually love getting the chance to kind of take a look at how some of these events kind of formulate up, and a little bit of a snapshot into the meta itself. Now, how your top cut was kind of performing with this. Cool Tune is still your best deck. There's unfortunately not really much challenging this right now in the way of, you know, how the meta has to go. You follow it up with Elf Note having a decent sized representation right behind it, which is fine, you know. You want Elf Note to do decently well within this meta, and it's been doing pretty well. I mean, welcome to Synchro Toolboxes. We had 2 Lunalights, 2 Rysel variants, and then the one-ups. We had Water, good old Predaplants, Fairy Tale, Phantom Knights, looks like Archmage, Sky Striker, the Mind Shuffle deck. We also had Blue Eyes, which that Blue Eyes deck, when we get to looking at list here, there is some interesting tech choices within that deck. A little bit more than I kind of was really anticipating seeing, and that's actually kind of cool. We also had Mitsurugi. I know, right? Everybody is just so pumped to hear the words Mitsurugi's still here. Yeah, it's fine. We also still have a Malice Challenger, which is also kind of cool. And we still have Draco Tail. You know, even with the harsh restrictions that Draco Tail has on the deck, it is still a very, very strong deck. But while Cool Tune is kind of running the meta here, your rogue half of the chart is a little bit better than it has previously looked from some of these events. And I actually think it's kind of cool because, like, as long as the meta's not being terribly dominated, you got some solutions. Let's pass on over to Decklist. Somehow Fairy Tale ended up winning this event. And I think a lot of that has to do with just, like, how good Dark Magical Curtain actually can be as a tool set card for your deck to be able to use. Now, obviously, not having Fairy Tale Snow kind of pushes this deck into a really weird position come the TCG variant of it. But I don't necessarily think that that's terribly bad. You do get to see that this deck wants to play Summon Sorceress. It wants to play a lot of these very, very strong generic spellcaster cards to be able to work with. I also love the fact that you get to slam down the old Dimensional Fissure in this deck and just kind of go to town. Also, main decking Shifters, pretty good. Next up is going to be your combination of Elf Notes and, of course, the Power Patron good stuff. But also, you're doing a lot of good generic Synchro Toolboxing cards for this deck. Now, oddly enough, the version of this deck in the OCG did get a larger Elf Note Synchro Monster, which does actually help this deck out greatly. But also, I mean, you get to do Excel Synchron plays, you get to do Baron de Fleur, you get to do a lot of this extremely good toolboxing cards to be able to kind of go through. And I mean, obviously, having access to Harmonia is just probably one of the best things that this deck can do. Also, Secret Village Lock on top of it. Next up, we actually have the Mind Shuffle deck. Yes, the Mind Shuffle deck performed extremely well for this event. This deck is actually choosing to play a Pharah in it, which I think is fine. The Pharah being one of those extremely powerful cards, you just revealing whatever you need to in your hand to ensure that that key card is going to resolve will win you some extremely broken games. As time and time has told us, with Pharah, that key ability is really good. Also, you know, it getting sent off of a card effect also just rewards you immensely for the free value. So this deck's looking very fun. Next up, we got our Cool Tune section. Now, it's very interesting to see that, like, Cool Tune as a whole was kind of struggling this event. You know, it still had very high numbers, don't get me wrong, but I mean, if your first place team isn't playing a single Cool Tune deck, then, you know, are you really truly performing to the best standard that you would really expect? And I think you're doing decently well. Now, obviously, Harmonia, broken card in this deck. Naturally, Rose Whip also in the main deck. Actually seeing Rose Whip performing in the main deck for this is absolutely wonderful. Gotta love the OCG, man. TCG players don't want to main it, but OCG loves that thing. Next up, we have more of the Cool Tune Special. Now, this list kind of getting a little bit spicier in terms of your tech choices. We do get to see triple Ghost Bell in the main deck here, which actually is not a terrible choice. We've seen Ghost Bell doing pretty well. It also gets to be at level 3 that you can access out of the hand to work with, which is kind of nice. We do also see the Gamma and the Driver with the side deck to Delta. We're not going really too crazy in the extra lines for this, but I think it's enough that we kind of have to acknowledge that, you know, there is deck building space to work with. Okay. And then we have more of the elf notes. Holy crap, man. I guess the trap card for this deck, giving you the ability just to quick turbo up and synchro, does make all the differences when you're looking in that deck building space. Also, I do love the pot of going second down here. Having access to that pot to make sure that, you know, you can do a turbo jump if you need to is actually really, really, really strong. And that's actually, I think, a very important thing. Okay. Outside of that, I mean, in terms of what your tool set is for this, it looks pretty standardized. Next up, Striker. Ooh, we have a Sky Striker player. Now, this Sky Striker player spicing things up. They have the triple dimensional fissure in the main deck. I guess when the format is as chaotic as it is right now, like, you kind of have to have dimensional fissure as like a call, because I mean, like, oh no, I'm going to lose one of my Sky Striker monsters. That might be a little bit of a problem, but if you're messing up your opponent more than you're getting punished for the floodgate cards that you're choosing to play, then I really do think that there is some actual worth to considering, you know, these little tech options so you can actually do your thing. Next up here, we have more Cool Tune. And yes, we do get to see good old Rose Whip in the main deck again. I'm telling you, man, the OCG absolutely loves this card. We also do get to see, I believe it's the Tuner Searcher spell card in here as a one-of. We don't have the tools to, you know, use that card yet, unfortunately, because, you know, it is currently OCG exclusive. We'll get it eventually. But interesting. We also do see double Ultimate Slayer coming in here. Well, I mean, you've already got Harmonia, so being able to bring in a couple of copies of Ultimate Slayer to kind of curse splat some of the problem cards of the opponent's ending on their field doesn't seem necessarily too bad. But it's also interesting to actually see Imperms in the list. Next up here, we have the Blue Eyes Special, and this list is actually playing Rotary as a ability to peek into the opponent's hand. I had not thought about that, actually, and I kind of am now sad because now I have to go spend more money on little extra cards to make my Blue Eyes deck a little bit more consistent, as we're going to call it. But I do think that that's kind of cool, actually. We do get to see the Ultimate Fusion in here to make the really haha funny Magia. And the fact that, you know, your deck has access to make the Magia is also pretty good. Also seeing Crocosaurus in here was a little bit unexpected, too. Next up, we have Mitsurugi Rizal. Now, the fact that they still have King of the Fairlimbs over there, and, you know, crazy enough, Mitsurugi is already, like, on its way out of the OCG meta. It's not like, you know, we're seeing, like, crazy things with that, but it's definitely something. Also, you know, the Rizal stuff, its job is to, you know, kind of play off of the combo line. Obviously, you know, once you're able to kind of claw your way on up into, you know, the extra extension play line, then, you know, I think you'll be fine at that. Also, the Greedy Pot down here actually helping you out. Kind of interesting. And then we have Malice, you know. Ever since we got the beautiful rank 5 and, you know, this deck lost its extra little pieces, this deck has been in shambles. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. It's so hard to want to justify looking at Malice right now as a playable deck, because, like, you just have to play out of your mind with this deck for the combo lines. But you can still do it. I mean, Ally Code Talker and the Code of the Soul to rewrite it into the next turn to actually get the Hydra Drive onto the field is pretty cool. We also do get to see the Fancy Ball in here as well, which is kind of nice, but a lot of decent tool set cards for this list. And our last list here is going to be even more Elf Note. The OCG loves this deck, man. Like, between this and Cool Tune, the fact you got to see all of these lists kind of coming into the spotlight here as meta challengers for this was really, really nice. Also, Secret Village is an amazing card. All right, absolutely getting the chance to roll that through and punish the opponent is it's kind of amazing. So what do you guys think about all of these relatively interesting good lists that are kind of cooking here? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.